Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Magyānatimirandasya Jnāna-anjana-salakaya Chakkuranimiletanjena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jana Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Siguru Sijutapadakammalam Sigurun Vaisnavanam cha Sirupam Sagrajatam Saganasi Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Litam Sri Visakham Vitam cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripi Vancha Kalpatarivasya Kripa Sindhuveva cha Patitanam Pavanabhya Vaishnavya Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasat Desatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Radhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So we are starting today Sri Bhagavad Gita in 3 days. The thematic essence of study of essence of Bhagavad Gita in 3 days. So why it is 3 days? Because many of us engaged in very exceedingly busy life, enormously stressful life. So they do not have time for the long session. We have already taken previously 18 session, or more details. So this gives you an overview, understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. So we start that how this Bhagavad Gita, a very important book of knowledge. So Srila Prabhupada said Bhagavad Gita also called Gita Upanishad. So this Bhagavad Gita is very important in the sense that this book is directed for the directed to the conditioned soul who are engaged in this material world with a purpose of lording over the material nature. So who do not know what is real spiritual life. So Bhagavad Gita meant to show how one can understand the spiritual existence and how one can understand what is the relationship with Supreme God and how to go back to God. Whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive our original consciousness, revive our eternal existence, spiritual existence, that is Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada says Bhagavad Gita is meant to deliver the mankind and revive their Krishna consciousness. Because we are existing in a non-existential atmosphere. We are threatened by the birth, we are threatened by this non-existential temporary atmosphere. We are threatened by the birth, death, disease, old age. Being an eternal being, we are not supposed to be threatened, but somehow circumstantially we are being, we are chosen, rather, not forced actually, we are chosen to be in this precarious situation. Therefore, every one of us anxieties because of this material existence. So, how to, so as a result, all our plans, our endeavors, our schemes, dreams, they are baffled because of temporary existence. We cannot maintain our status quo. Because our greatest problem is that we turn away from the Lord's service. We turn away. We are spiritual being. We are not human being on spiritual experience. We are spiritual being on human experience. We are eternal soul. But we turn away from the Lord and put into this non-existential atmosphere. So now we are in a very precarious situation, confused state. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is spoken as a malady for all our, is a panacea for all our malady, is a medicine for our disease condition. We are in a very disease condition. So therefore, Bhagavad Gita is not only spoken to Arjuna, but to human society, the human generation, the future human generation, to the all mankind, so that they can hear, they can understand, they can imbibe, apply in the life, and revive their eternal existence or original consciousness, spiritual consciousness. Spiritual consciousness means we are eternal servant of the Lord. We are part and parcel of the Lord. We are eternal souls. We are meant to be associated with the Lord. We are meant for a very Sachidananda, full of eternity, spirit, bliss, and knowledge. But somehow we have been put in a very excruciatingly painful situation. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is a very, very important book of knowledge to revive our consciousness, revive our constitutional position as an eternal spirit soul. So in Bhagavad Gita, there are 18 chapters. Particularly, Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Krsna, the Supreme Lord. Lord is more anxious to get us back. Lord is more anxious to free us from this material entanglement than we desire. We are anxious. So therefore, he personally comes down not only to speak. Arjuna is not only in precarious condition. Actually, in the pretext of teaching Arjuna, he is teaching to everybody. It's like a manual for humankind. It's a SOP, standard operating procedure, how to get out from this precarious situation and go back to our original existence, spiritual existence. We are confronting an existential dilemma, dissension, discrepancy. So Lord personally coming and teaching us. And Bhagavad Gita, as you know, that is 18 chapter, and 18 chapter is divided into 3 portions. One is Karmā Yoga, one is Bhakti, chapter 1 to 6 Karmā Yoga, and chapter 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga. In the middle, the important thing is covered by just like a diamond is have a 2 covering lid. The content, main substances is covered by 2 covers. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita, the Bhakti Yoga with the essence of Bhagavad Gita is now in the middle of the chapter 7 to 12. And finally, finally this Jñāna-yoga in the last 13 to 18 chapter. So what is yoga? Let us start with the meaning of the yoga before we start, because the whole Bhagavad Gita is a yoga system, yoga sutra. It's a bhakti yoga, yoga of connecting to the Supreme Lord. So yoga means linking up, link up with Supreme Lord. At present we are disconnected actually. We are not linking up. We are linking with the material world. Therefore we are suffering. So linking up with the Lord. When the linking up is predominantly through the process of karma or fruitive activity, that is called Karmā Yoga. Karma and Karmā Yoga is different. Karma is normal fruitive activities for the purpose of gratifying the sense, for the purpose of lording over the material nature, for our sense gratification. I get money, I enjoy. That is called karma. But Karmā Yoga, and also I implicated, according to my karma, I implicated. Good, bad, or no, I implicated. But Karmā Yoga means the fruitive activities is now connected, linking up with God. That means dovetailing with God. Or for the satisfaction of the Lord, just like Arjuna. Arjuna is a military man, but he is using his profession for the satisfaction of the Lord, because Lord desires this war. Lord is inducing him to fight. So that is Karma Yoga. Jnāna-yoga, when it is predominantly philosophical speculations and knowledge, philosophical knowledge, that is called Jnāna-yoga. When it is predominantly meditation, when the linking of process or connecting with the God through the meditation by the physical process of stanga, different process, yama, niyama, etc., 8 process, that is called Dhyana Yoga. When the linking up to the Supreme Lord through the process of bhakti or direct relationship with the Lord, that is called Bhakti Yoga, which is the direct Krishna consciousness with the ultimate goal. Tonight we will be discussing about the first 6 chapters, which is called Karma Yoga, because predominantly Karma Yoga has been discussed in the first 6 chapters. Although there are other topics also there. There are the other topics also there, but predominantly it is karma. Therefore, it is Karma Yoga. The Acharya has divided into 3 parts. The first portion is called Karma Yoga. So now we will show these slides so that it is easy to understand for everyone that how very easy to understand by slide. So we will show you the show this slide so that we can understand properly. So here you can see this slides, this Bhagavad Gita overview. Then, so here is, you can see here that how the discussion of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1 to chapter 6, Karma Yoga leading to Bhakti Yoga, because Yoga means Bhakti. So Karma has to mix with Bhakti. Jnana has to mix with Bhakti. Therefore, without Bhakti, Karma and Jnana has no value. It's a dry renunciation, dry knowledge, dry speculation. Karma also is a very implicated, very we will be implicated. Karma has no, fruitive activities has no value without Krishna consciousness or bhakti. So karma has to mix with bhakti yoga, become Karma Yoga. Therefore, bhakti is the highest. Everything leads to bhakti. So Bhagavad Gita actually, objective of the Lord Krishna is to establish the bhakti yoga is the supreme above all the system of yoga. Because initially one cannot jump into the bhakti yoga directly. So many people are attached in the fruitive activities. Therefore, one can start with the Karma Yoga and gradually elevate to the Bhakti Yoga. When Karma Yoga is actually, when the Karma Yoga is, increase in the knowledge and renunciation, that is Jnana Yoga. When Jnana Yoga increase in meditation on the super soul by the physical process, that is called Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. When Dhyana Yoga increase in devotion to the Lord, that is called Bhakti Yoga. So this is a ladder. This is yoga map, yoga ladder. So it is very progressive. If somebody do not progress and he stays in that particular, then he cannot get, and he will be called as Karma Yogi, Dhyana Yogi, etc. But the highest perfection, the highest point of ladder, highest ring of the ladder is called Bhakti Yoga. Therefore, Krishna also explained in the last verse of 6th chapter that Yoginam api sarvesam madgatena antaratma mana. The best of yogi is the Bhakti Yogi. They are the ladders, just like we have 100 buildings. Somebody is in 10th floor, somebody is 20th floor, somebody is 50th floor, somebody is 90 floor, but those who are 100 floor, that is the highest perfection. And others are stepping stone. Therefore, one should progress and come to the bhakti stage to revive our Krishna consciousness, to get out from this entanglement. So therefore, Bhagavad Gita is spoken all the yoga system. We will be talking about the chapter 1. So Bhagavad Gita's chapter 1 is the topics is observing the armies in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Arjuna's Bhagavad Gita actually starts with the inquiry from the Dhritarashtra, opens with the inquiry from Dhritarashtra that the two parties who are assembled at the battlefield of Kurukshetra, what did they do? The Kauravas party and the Pandavas party. Here Dhritarashtra is starting that Dhritarashtra was a Dharma Khetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Jujusava Mamaka Pandava Chaivakum Akrubat Sanjaya. So this is the first opening verse of the Bhagavad Gita. So the chapter 1 is all about the how observing Arjuna is observing the armies, and he is inflicted by the lamentation, inflicted by the compassion, and decided not to fight by put forwarding the some noble and moral reason of not to fight. So that is whole about the chapter 1. So therefore chapter 1 start with the Dhritarashtra inquiry to Sanjay, and Duryodhana also, the preparation of war is going on. Duryodhana also estimating the strength of the armies, both the sides, and he wanted to compare both the sides because he was a great diplomat. So he is approaching his commander-in-chief, Dronacharya, to see how the Pandavas are very nicely arranged. Despite if there is no financial source for them, everything become very, unduly, unjustly taken away all the kingdom from the Pandavas. Still they have arranged so many soldiers, so many phalanx of army. So he was estimating the preparation of war is going on, and there is a sign of Pandava victory because at that time riding on a very beautiful white chariot, the Krishna and Arjuna is coming, and they are everybody blowing the conch shell. Panchajanyam Husikesa Deva Dattam Dhananjaya Pandram Dudmu Mahasankha Bhima Karma Brikoda. The transcendental conch shell blown by the Pandavas and Krishna. So that is the sign of victory, because it is said that Jesam to Janardana, what is that? Jayatam to Pandavanikam, Jesam Pakhe Janardana. Wherever Krishna is there, the victory is inevitable. So there is sign of victory is there because there is Krishna is there, the presence of Krishna is there. When there is a presence of Krishna, there is a presence of Lakshmi, because Lakshmi will never leave Krishna. Therefore, Lakshmi is there. Lakshmi is sign of fortune. So Pandavas are fortunate. And also the conch shell is transcendental, which shatters the army. On the other side, Kauravas party, although Bhishma and all, they blow the conch shell, an ordinary conch shell. But this transcendental conch shell, when the Pandavas and Krishna blown their Panchajanya and their other respective conch shell, that shattered the heart of Kauravas. That is stated in the first chapter. So these are the sign of victory. You can see the Arjuna's flag. There is an emblem of Hanuman. The Hanuman who also helped with a great war of Ramayana, who helped the Supreme Lord, who assisted Supreme Lord. So again he here is coming to assist the same Lord and his devotees. And the chariot also, Arjuna riding, that was given by Agnidev. Very, very important chariot, victorious chariot. So in this way, there are so many signs of victory even before the war started. That was pointed out by the Sanjay. So then Arjuna is asking, very nice. Arjuna, now you can see this more things. Now Arjuna is asking Krishna to Senaru Bhayamadere Rathastapaya Mayarchuta. So you can see chapter 1, 21 verses, that how Arjuna is asking the Sena Rubhamadere Ratham Stapamaya Chuta Yavan Etam Nirikhyam Jodhu Kamam Avasishta. So Arjuna is now wanted to know that who are there. The beautiful verses we can show you that how Arjuna this is the beautiful verses that how Arjuna is asking this Krishna to chariot. Arjuna Vacha Senarubha Senarubha Madhya. You can see the verses here. Sena Ubha Madhyare Rathastapaya Maya Achutya Rathastapa Me Achutya Yabad Enath Etan Nirikhyam Yudhu Kamam Avastitan. So Arjuna is asking, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight, with whom I must contend in this great trial of path. So Arjuna here asking to draw the chariot, and when Krishna draw the chariot, he saw that all my different grades of relatives standing before me and desiring to fight. And by seeing all the desire, because it's very difficult to fight, you can fight with enemies, but we cannot fight with our kins and kith. So Arjuna afflicted with lamentation. So he said like that, he's very afflicted. And he spoke to Krishna, Krishna, I am not going to fight. What is this? All my relatives, tam samikcha sakanteya sarvan bandhum avastitam kurpaya paraya vista visiddhani dham abhravit. So here when the son of Kuntī, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends, relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Very much afflicted with compassion, because to kill his own men is not easy. My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering, my mouth drying up. So he could not stand actually, because if anybody asks you to fight with, kill some kith and kin, this is very difficult. So Arjuna afflicted due to attachment, this familial attachment. So this first chapter 1 is giving us a lesson that how the family attachment is the cause of our material bondage. The attachment is the cause, not only family, society, our country, all this material attachment is cause of our material bondage, cause of our lamentation. Jasatma buddhi kunape. We are identifying with body and bodily paraphernalia. He is my father, he is my society, here is my country, he is my wife, children. All this called Jasatma buddhi kunape tridhatuke, identifying the body with us. And these people call animal consciousness. Janesu abhigyansu saeva gokora. They are called like us and cows. That means animal consciousness. So therefore, the lesson of the chapter 1 is that misidentification of body or the family attachment. So Arjuna was attached. So therefore, he is telling my whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandhi is slipping from my hand, my skin is burning. So in this way, I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself. My mind is reeling. I see only cause of misfortune. Oh Krishna, killer of the Kesi demon. So he is now not standing on the thing. He is so much afflicted with the attachment for the kith, for his relative friend, that he is unable to stand even. So now he given reason that I cannot fight. I cannot fight. And he has also put forward many other reasons, like he is telling that what is the use of all the thing? I do not see how many good can come from killing my own kinsmen in the battlefield, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory. So here Krishna is telling them, Arjuna is putting forward, what is this happiness? I don't see what kind of happiness we will get it. Supposing I get some happiness, what is the use of that? My relative will not be there to share. So therefore, Arjuna's, we can see the slides. I can show the slides to better understanding. So the slides is there. So we can see here this slide. Too easy to understand. So Arjuna here, you can see this. So Arjuna is compassion, and not only compassion, he wanted to also, he is given other reason. He is telling this enjoyment is not good. Compassion for relative, no enjoyment even if victorious, because I have to share my opulence. If nobody is there, then how can I share my opulence? So he was built reluctant to fight, and also he also give a put forward the fearful, what you say, you can see here the fearful compassion for relatives, compassion for relatives, and fearful of sinful reaction, destruction of family tradition. All these things is putting forward not to fight. Not to fight. Then Arjuna decided not to fight and set aside his bow and arrow. That is all about the first chapter. First chapter, Arjuna is saying last verses, Sanjay Upacha evam ukta Arjuna sankhye ratopastopavishta visrijasya saram chapam soko samigna manasa. So Arjuna here, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrow, sat down on the chariot, his mind is overwhelmed with grief. So Arjuna now is drowning in an ocean of material grief due to the attachment. Therefore, Prabhupada is given that the first lesson is that Jasyatma buddhi kunape tridhatu ke. So Prabhupada say that this is the problem with Arjuna. One who identifies self as the inert body composed of mucus, bile, air, who assumes his wife, family are permanently his own, who thinks an earthen image or land of birth is worshipable, who sees a place of pilgrimage as merely the water there, but who never identify himself with feels kinship with worship or even visit those who are wise spiritual truth. Such a person is no better than cow and ass. This is called bodily conception, material conception. Our problem, our disease is we are identified as material. We are identified this body and bodily paraphernalia. Arjuna has same thing, that attachment with his family that made him, or that put him in a very ocean of material grief. And the second chapter, which is called Gita, contents of Gita summaries. So Arjuna seeing the Krishna, his friend, seeing Krishna, seeing his friend Arjuna is a very, in a very ocean of material grief due to this familial attachment. And he spoke that Arjuna, he is encouraging Arjuna, you get up Arjuna, what are you doing, why you are crying? Arjuna is actually literally crying. Such a great warrior who can even who has defeated even the demigods, that Arjuna is crying. You can see the beginning of the first chapter. We can see here the beginning of the first chapter is actually Arjuna is, Sanjay is saying that the situation of Arjuna is very, very precarious. Tang tatha kurpaya vistam ashrupunna kulakyanam visidhantam idam vakyam ubacha madhusudana. Sanjay says, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, very sorrowful, his eyes brimming with tears, Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following word. So Arjuna's bewilderment is the ground for teaching for Krishna. Actually, Arjuna cannot be bewildered. He is actually associate of the Lord. Wherever Krishna, Surya Sama Maya Andhakar. Wherever Krishna, there is no jurisdiction of Maya. So Arjuna, who is the eternal associate, how can he be in Maya? But Arjuna was put in that condition so that the Bhagavad Gita can be delivered to the mankind for their ultimate benefit. So now Arjuna is full compassion. This is the this Vaishnava's quality. Arjuna is a devotee of the Lord. And devotee of the Lord are soft-hearted. Although these people are aggressor, the Kauravan party, they did all kind of injustice. They have trying to take out their kingdom, they cheated, and they also put, they are trying to disrobe his wife, Draupadi. All this kind of injustice, nefarious activity they have committed, sinful activity they have committed, abominable activity they have committed. Still Arjuna is soft-hearted because Vaishnavas, compassion. This is the ground for getting the mercy of Krishna. So now Krishna cannot see his friend is such a situation. So he is immediately encouraging him. Oh Arjuna, no. Don't be like this. So he say that, Klaibamyam masa gama partha. No, before that also he said this one verse, very important. Bhagavan Uvacha, the first time Lord is speaking to Arjuna. Actually, he did not speak in the chapter 1. First time Bhagavan Uvacha. Here very important, Bhagavan Uvacha, not Arjuna Uvacha, not Sanjay Uvacha, not Krishna Uvacha. It is Bhagavana, because Krishna to Swayam Bhagavan. If you do not know the author is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what is the meaning of hearing Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita? You will be student of Bhagavad Gita, millions of years, you cannot understand anything. You should understand that the Krishna, Bhagavan, and the Krishna is Supreme Lord. Bhagavad Gita is the conversation, divine conversation between God and man in an ancient battlefield of unforgettable war, which answers the very critical, essential question with utmost ease and clarity. So here Bhagavan Uvacha, not Krishna Uvacha. Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam. He is Bhagavana, Supreme Lord, Supreme Controller. So here it is saying that Kutastha Kasamalan idam visame samupastita annarya justam aswargyam akritikaram Arjuna. So immediately the Supreme Lord say, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive value of life. They do not lead to the higher planet but infamy. So immediately Lord is encouraging that you are a Kshatriya, and so-called compassion is not good. Compassion for body is not good. That is the second lesson. Because Arjuna compassion is for the body, because he is identifying as the body, is my family. That is not good. Compassion for the soul is important. For a drowning man, if you save his dress, what is the use of that? Similarly, there are so many hospitals, cancer hospital, this hospital, that hospital. What is the use of this if you cannot save the soul? Therefore, Krishna consciousness is the highest welfare activity, because it deals with soul, how to revive the soul. Body is there, is everybody obliged to the thing, body is temporary. What is the use of making the body? Just like, you make the cage very nice, diamond plated or diamond, but you do not feed a bird will die. So therefore the compassion is misdirected here. Krishna is saying that this compassion is not good. You are a Kshatriya, your compassion for this, all the thing, and you are now telling I am not going to fight. This is un-Aryan. Aryan sir means progressive, spiritual progressive life, culture. Those who are spiritually progressive culture, that is called Aryan. But Arjuna being a Kshatriya, he is now so much afflicted, and so-called compassion is very much Krishna, sympathize with Arjuna's argument. He never sympathized. Therefore, he is saying, you get up. Klaibyam masmagama partanaita toyo upapadyate khudram hudaya dorbalam takte uttishta parantapa. So Krishna say that O son of Partha, do not yield to this degrading importance. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of the heart and rise or chastiser of enemy. So he is very strong word use, very importance. This is not good. This is a weakness of your heart. Hudaya dauralabhya. It is not so-called compassion. The so-called compassion for the body is a weakness in the heart. So therefore better you fight. Then there was a argument, counter argument by Arjuna that no, how can I katham Bhisma aham sankyam dronam cha madhusudana. So they are all great people, Drona and Bhisma. How can I fight? How can I kill? You are Madhusudana, you kill your enemy. You are not Josada Sudana, you are not Nanda Sudana. You do not kill your father, mother. He is very counter arguing and criticizing Krishna, counter arguing. Arjuna, oh, you did not kill your what do you call Sandipani Muni. Eh? You kill your enemy, but why you are inducing me? Because they are my family men, they are worshipable. Pujarva Arisudana is using two times Madhusudana, Arisudana. You are killer of enemy, but you are not killer. So in this way, he is very confused. He is confused, and he was telling better to be begging rather than I will better be beg rather than killing them. In this way, he wanted to dissuade from the or very wanted to avoid fighting. At that time he was very confused and he was surrendering to Krishna. That is a very, very important lesson. He is now confused because Krishna is saying that it is not good, it is your weakness, and he thinks that, oh, that is right, because all these parties are my kith and kins. There are people like Drona and Bhisma, they are very worshipable. How can I kill? So he is very confused. Therefore, in material world means we are all confused. Without spiritual knowledge, everybody is confused. So we need a guidance. We need a guru who can direct us. So Arjuna did the very nice thing. Karpanya dosapata swabhava, karpanya dosapata swabhava, pichamitam dharma samuddachetaha. Yes shreyasyan nischintam dvaitan me sishyateham sadhimam tvam prapanam. So Arjuna, he understood that the friendly talk is not going to any conclusion. Not going to any conclusion. So better I am confused, I should surrender to Krishna. He knows the Krishna is Supreme Lord. So he accepted Krishna as a spiritual master. So this is very, very important. The fundamental step of spiritual realization, the fundamental step of spiritual life, the fundamental step of Krishna consciousness, to accept a bona fide spiritual master who can guide us back to Godhead, who can solve our problem, material and spiritual problem, who can teach us what is spirituality. So that is the very fundamental step, the first step in Krishna consciousness and spiritual life. Without that, we cannot proceed. We cannot proceed directly to the Supreme Lord. No. Therefore, it is said that tad vijnana ratham sa guru eva vigachet. You should first approach a spiritual master. Ado guru asraya. So Arjuna did this very nice thing that he surrendered to Krishna. When he surrendered to Krishna, then Krishna, as a teacher, immediately took the teacher's position of a teacher. The teacher is different. The teacher tone and tenor is different from a tone and tenor of the friend. So when Arjuna accepted Krishna as a teacher, and Krishna as a teacher is immediately chastising his disciple. Asochan anvasochan tvam pragyabhadavcha vasase gatasuna dasuna nanu sochandi. Now Krishna is nanu sochandi pandita. You are talking big things. You are put forwarding. Oh, how can I kill my kith and kins? Killing is not good. What is there in enjoyment? For the sake of kingdom, I have to kill. But they are my relative. I cannot enjoy my opulence without relatives. And you are speaking about the family tradition. If I kill them, all their elderly people will die. Nobody will guide us. Their jati dharma, kula dharma, everything will be destroyed. Their women will be polluted. In this way, it will create a Varna Sankara, social chaos. Society become chaos, social chaos. So in this way, it's putting forward very noble and very moral argument. But Krishna refuted all the things. Krishna says, you are talking big Pandita, you do not know the basic thing. What is the basic thing? Immortality. The soul is immortal, the body is temporary. Therefore, the Pandita never laments for living and death. They know that. This body is dying and living, but soul is eternally existing. So this is 211 to 230 is explaining about the immortality, the Sankhya philosophy, the difference between body and soul. So everybody thinking that I am body. So therefore Krishna dismantled this misconception, the distinguish between a body and soul. Very beginning, there's a beginning of knowledge. What is our real identity? IC means identity card, not identity crisis. Everybody has got identity crisis. They do not know. They have no knowledge. So therefore Krishna in the beginning of his teaching dismantled this misconception. Natu ebham jatu nasam natum name janadipa natchaiva na bhavishyam sarve bhayamatapa. So Krishna is saying that you exist, I exist in the past, in the future also we are going to exist. In present anyway we are existing. So there was a time when I did not exist, nor all the king, nor in future shall any of us cease to be. So Krishna is telling that everybody is existing. Therefore, we are not the body, we are the soul. We are existing past in different body. In future also we will have different body. In present anyway we are having some body. So therefore, you do not have to be lament, because this all Bhishma, Drona, they will rejuvenate. They will get another body. They are not dying. The soul never dies. Therefore, he is saying next word, Dehinam swinjatha de komaram jauvanam cha tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra nama. So Krishna say that Dehinam swinjatha dehi, as the embodied soul continually passes in the body from boyhood to youth to old age, so similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such. I am the same person when I am young, when I was taking bath also, young also, when I am youth also, now also I am same. I am the same person, body changes. My young body changes, my youth body changes. At the time of death, we will have another body according to our karma. Just like a dress, we changing. So therefore, he is explaining the characteristic of the soul. Soul will never die. Only body. Na hanyate hanyamane sarir. In this way, Lord is further explaining all the things. Therefore, you inducing Arjuna to fight. Matras varsastu Kuntī, tolerate. This is coming and going. This so-called natural law is going on, coming and going. So you don't have to be worried about all the things. Matras varsastu Kuntī, sitasna sukha dukkada. Agamapiyan Kuntī, tang titikka, so you to tolerate that. It's a natural law. You have to die. You have to take birth. You have to die. In this way going on. Everybody has to die today or tomorrow or after 100 years. So therefore Krishna says, Na jate muryate va kadachi nayam bhutta bhavitana bhuya ajanitya sasastayam prana nahanyate hanemansas. But soul, there is never birth, not death, nor having once been dosed, it ever cease to be. The unborn, eternal, ever existing, underlying, primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So in this way he was teaching Sankhya philosophy. He is telling that just like a body, just like a dress, we are changing. Similarly, the body also we change. So you should not lament for them. They will change. Bhishma will get another body. Drona will get another body. All these people will get another body. They are going to exist in future also. So do not lament that they are lost, they are gone, they are gone. My father, where is your father gone? Same body is there. Soul is gone. Body is anyway. Masam च जिन्नानि जथा विहाय नवानि गृहन्ति नरोपराणि तथा शरीरानि विहाय जिन्नानि अन्यानि सम्याति navani dehi. So as a person puts a new garment and give up old one, similarly soul accept new material body, giving up the old one, useless one. In this way, Lord is explaining his Sankhya philosophy, Arjuna, and giving him knowledge, so that encouraging him to fight. Because he was very compassionate on the body, Krishna say, I am refuting your argument, you are not. Then second thing is, Arjuna say that, what is the use of this enjoyment? Supposing I have got a car, I bought a car, Mercedes or BMW or Rolls Royce or Ferrari. Immediately I will call my friends, relatives, oh I got it. Then I have to share my opulence. What is the use of opulences if there is nobody is there to share? So therefore Arjuna is arguing, if I got also the kingdom at the cost of the lives of my relatives, how can I enjoy this? That is not possible. So Krishna refuted it. Krishna refuted that for Kshatriya, if they are dying also, they go up, enjoy. They go up to higher planetary system because they die in the battlefield while fighting. And if they win the kingdom. Always there is a win-win situation. So there is enjoyment is there always. It's not like that no enjoyment. You die also there is no enjoyment. Therefore he is explaining, the Lord is explaining this sakama karma yoga. He's starting with karma yoga. Karma yoga start with some kind of sakama means some desire. So Lord is starting with this point of sakama karma yoga, chapter 231 to 38. So better you fight. You die also okay, you don't die also it's enjoyment. And finally he told that if you are thinking that this karma kanda is going to higher planetary system, because higher planetary system is not the highest goal. So therefore he told better to do another process that is called buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means also bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness. Also it is called karma yoga. So buddhi yoga means that art of acting without attachment to the fruits of activities. This is Krishna is explaining this. See, all these verses one should be, all these things one should know by heart, Prabhupada say, because these are very important themes. So Krishna here say is introducing called buddhi yoga. Sometimes Arjuna confused. Buddhi yoga means knowledge. Okay. Thus far as I have described the knowledge to you through analytical study. So Krishna is giving is the analytical study, body and soul. Now listen as I explain in terms of working without fruitive result. Asana partha pittha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of past. So Lord is explaining here something called buddhi yoga. Here the word buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga te imam srinu. So buddhi yoga means karma yoga. So work without fruitive result. I am working, but I am not attached to the fruitive actor. Without attachment to the fruitive activity. That is called niskama karma yoga. Just I am going to office, or I am going, supposing I am not attached to the fruits. Because as long as I am attached to fruits, I will be getting the reaction. That is karma. Karma yoga means the art of acting means without attachment to the fruitive activities. So this is whole idea of this buddhi yoga or Krishna consciousness. Sometimes people thinking that Krishna consciousness means inertia. Inertia means dormant. When I will have retired, everything is a retirement from the active life. When I retirement, I go to the Himalaya, do penance, chant my round, all the secluded places. No. So Arjuna also says buddhi yoga is not like Krishna is inducing Arjuna. No. That the buddhi yoga is important. You have to act, but without fruitive result. Then you will be implicated. Because Arjuna argument is that if I kill my kith and kins, I will be implicated in sin. That is the third argument, not to fight. So Arjuna's argument is refuted here. Krishna say no. Through the buddhi yoga you will get rid of. And also in buddhi yoga also it is said that very nicely that you have to perform the duty without any attachment to the success and failure. Equiposed. That is called buddhi yoga. Because supposing I am working as a peon or working as something clerk or something for a company, I am indifferent to the success and failure of company. I am doing my duty. That is actually equipose. That is the art of doing the buddhi yoga. And in this way you can reject all the abominable activities. That is very important things. So Krishna is telling, if you do that in this way, you can all the abominable activities. Krishna say how to do this. Karmani badikaryasya ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangosya karmani. How you should this buddhi yoga? That karmani badikaryasya means you have right to perform your duty, but you are not entitled to the fruit of the action. Never consider yourself cause of the result of your activity. Never be attached not doing your own duty. So this is the consideration. So we should work, but You should not be attached to the fruits. That means fruits should be given to the Krishna. Yat karoṣi, yat aśnāsi, yat joshi dadasya. A little bit of Karmā Yoga. In second chapter, Krishna is explaining Jñāna-yoga, Sankhya-yoga is Jnana-yoga actually. Sankhya-yoga and this Karmā Yoga also beat up little bit of bhakti yoga also. Glimpse of bhakti yoga. Bhakti Vinod Thakur say. Everything. So here Krishna is explaining that you perform your duty but without attachment. In this way, what will happen? What is the result of that? Supposing if you do without attachment to the fruit, then that will be very nice. So, Jogostha Kuru Karmani Sangam Taktya Dhananja Siddhya Asiddhya Samabhutta Samattana Yoga Uchyate. So, the yoga, this is Buddhi yoga means yoga, it's Karma yoga or something. So, perform your duty, equippers or Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity called yoga. You should not be attached. In this way, the result is very nice. If you do in this way without niskama karma yoga, without attached to fruit, what will happen? Dure nahi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Buddhau saranam manivichya kirpana falahetabaha. Or Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activity far distance by devotional service. In that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy fruit, their work are media. So this is a very, very important verse. Dure nahi. So Arjuna was very much afraid of implicating, of killing. Krishna said, keep abominable activity far distance by devotional service. Buddhi yoga also is explained as devotional service. Just like you are working for Krishna. So here telling, do not attach to fruit. You work. The karma and karma yogi or buddhi yogi different is that karmi working for his own sense gratification. As soon as they get a salary, they change their iPhone, they change their car, they change their apartment, they change their dress, buying cloth, everything for their satisfaction. Arjuna also in the beginning without fight, he declined to fight. Why? Because he wants sense gratification. It is not palatable for him because he is going to lose them, lose his relative. So he was thinking in terms of I, me, mine, own sense gratification. So therefore Krishna say, no, you should not do like this. If you do like this, you will be implicated. Rather, you should do that by devotional service. That means your activity should be dovetailed. That is called Karmā Yoga. Yoga means dovetail or linking up. Your fruit of the activities, you are getting salary, it should be in the service of the Lord. In this way, you will not be affected. You will not be affected by the because every action has a reaction. Every action has a reaction. Newtonian law of action. So you will not be getting some reaction. Main engage in devotional service, get rid of both good and bad reaction, even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. Karma kausala, a very beautiful word using. Yoga karmasya kausalam. So Krishna is teaching Arjuna how to work karma yoga to all the people, because 99% people are engaged in fruitive activities. Krishna is telling that you should do in dovetailing your fruits, dovetailing your fruitive activities to Krishna consciousness. That means offer your fruits to Krishna. Yat karoṣi, yat aśnāsi, yat joshi dadasya, yat tapaśyasi kurusya madarpanam. Your so-called fruitive activities, when it is offered to Krishna, that becomes karma yoga. Therefore, Krishna says, whatever you do as an offering to me. So that is very, very important point on this second chapter. So finally, if you do in this way, the result is that you will be free from the cycle of birth and death. Karmajam buddhijuktai phalam takta manisinaha janma bandha vinurmukta padam gachanti nam. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, says the devotee free themselves from the result of the material world. In this way, they become free from cycle of birth, death, attain the state beyond all misery by going back to Godhead. So this is the way that you can get rid of cycle of birth. So in this way, Buddhi Yoga, then Arjuna is asking the question, what is the symptoms of those people in Krishna consciousness or those who are in Buddhi Yoga, self-realized soul? So therefore, he is asking this question, and Krishna is asking 6 questions that what is the general symptoms and all. So Krishna is answering all of them. So we will go through some three little bit of thing, how a self-realized person. Arjuna is asking, "Oh Krishna, what are the symptoms of whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendent? How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit? How does he walk?" So he is asking this question to Arjuna, how the symptoms of a self-realized. So Bhagavan Uvacha, so Krishna say that when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification which arise from mental concussion, when his mind thus purified finds satisfaction in self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So Krishna is saying that. This is very nice. And Krishna saying that man is get rid of all material desire, because material desire is the cause of our bondage. We are here in this material world, although we do not belong to this material world. We belong to spiritual world. We are associate of Krishna, but we have come here because of material desire. We want to separately desire from Krishna. We come to here. And because of material desire of sense gratification, people are suffering. Therefore, the symptoms of a Sthita Prajna or a Krishna consciousness person or a devotee that is free from the desire for sense gratification. He is satisfied alone. He is not outwardly looking for satisfaction. One who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst of threefold of misery related when there is happiness, who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. So he is not bewildered. He knows that this is temporary. So therefore he is not bewildered, just like a drunkard. A drunkard, he do not know where he is sleeping, where he is sitting. Similarly, this self-realized person, so much intoxicated by the Krishna consciousness, so much engrossed that they oblivion to all this. In the material world, not only oblivion, they do not take it, they steady in the mind. Even though it comes, Guru Napi na vichalet, they were not disturbed. Not only oblivion, they are not disturbed even. In the material world, one who is unaffected, whatever good evil he may obtain, neither praising nor despising it, firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. One who is able to withdraw his sense from sense object as the tortoise draws its limbs within the cell is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. So Krishna is explaining all the things to Arjuna's question. Though so he is thinking how a man who is controlling his sense mind, who is undisturbed, who is free from desire, they are called. In this way, this chapter ends. But third chapter, Arjuna is got confusion. He told, "You are telling me buddhi yoga, buddhi yoga." Buddhi yoga means Arjuna is thinking that, oh, some kind of retirement is some kind of knowledge, not action, you know. So he was, Arjuna said, very confused. In third chapter, it's called Karmā Yoga actually. Arjuna said, "Oh Janardana, Kesava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligent better than fruitive work?" Because when Krishna said buddhi yoga, so Arjuna is like thinking that, oh, buddhi yoga means renunciation, abandonment of all action. Is it like inherent, is dormant, or inaction, no activities. So he was thinking like that. So he's thinking that, oh, this is the thing that this is a misunderstanding of Arjuna. Not only Arjuna, everybody thinking that spiritual life means cessation of the material activities. No, spiritual life, advancement in spiritual life is not the cessation of activities. Rather, activities is there. Krishna say you do work, but in Krishna consciousness, with full knowledge that I am the spirit soul, I am the servant of the Supreme Soul. So you have to act in that relationship, in that knowledge, on that platform of that knowledge. That is Buddhi Yoga. So therefore, Buddhi Yoga is conclusively directive to Krishna consciousness by knowing oneself as a eternal servitor of Krishna. That is important. So therefore, Krishna is telling, you are wrong, Arjuna. Your understanding is not good. You are thinking Buddhi Yoga means some kind of intelligent in spiritual advancement. I don't have to work. I go to the secluded place and I'm, my intelligence is built by equivocal instruction. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial. You are telling working or renunciation of work. Buddhi means renunciation, no work. So Krishna say very nicely, "O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it empirical philosophy, speculation, others by devotional service." So Krishna specifically told, many people want to understand by philosophical, and others are by devotional service, but not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one obtain perfection. So Arjuna say, no, no, no. You want to renounce the fight? You cannot. Simply by renouncing or abstaining from work, one cannot get. Why? Because everyone is forced to act helplessly according to quality he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even moment. You cannot. Supposing you are now very cleverly telling that you are inducing me to, why inducing me to fight? Buddhi yoga is intelligent, is better, knowledge is better. Arjuna is trying to avoid the war, but Krishna telling you cannot avoid it. Simply by not fighting, you cannot. By your nature as a Kshatriya, again he will come and fight. So, therefore, Krishna is saying that one who restrains the sense action, whose mind dwells on sense object, certainly delude himself, is called pretender. Simply renounce, I do not want to see the woman, but you are thinking of woman. Prabhupada used to say the same thing, is a pretender. So without purification, simply say, I do not have to work anything now I will be meditating. It's not good. I mean, it is premature. You will fall down. Krishna say, on the other hand, if sincere person try to control the active senses by mind, begin Karmā Yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. Krishna says the renouncer or those who are abstaining from the work is not superior. The Karma Yogi is more superior, who trying to control the sense, and therefore perform your prescribed duty, for doing is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one physical body without work. So Krishna is giving superiority of working in a Krishna consciousness rather than abstaining from the work. Jagyartat karmana anyata lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma konteya mukta sangha samachara. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work just in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kuntī, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction. In that way, he will always remain free from bondage. So here Krishna will say that Karma Yoga means working for the sake of Krishna. Working for the Krishna sake. Otherwise, for the satisfaction of Krishna. Otherwise, it binds. And subsequently say that the cycle of sacrifice. In the cycle of sacrifice, Krishna is explaining, just like we have to do sacrifice. Sacrifice means yajna or work. How this work? Because see, you have got, so there are so many demigods are there. Just like tax department, so many tax department, you have to pay the tax, income tax, this tax, that tax. Because on behalf of government, they are collecting tax. If you do not pay tax, you will be defaulter. So Krishna say, all the demigods, they are my departmental head. On my behalf, just like on the behalf of government, the tax is collected from a person. Similarly, on behalf of me, they are collecting all the sacrifice. Therefore, you do not give, just like you do not pay your utility bill, you will be, your electricity will cut off. So Krishna say, then you are a thief. You are taking them rain, you are taking them sunlight for sun, you are taking rain from the Indra, you are taking air from the Vyudeva, god of wind, but you are not paying back. You are not acknowledging, that's not good, you are a thief. But it is very difficult because there are so many God and we are obliged to them. Therefore, in Kali Yuga, only thing that Sankirtana Yajna, main sacrifice is chanting Hare Krishna. So Krishna telling, therefore you should work with detachment. Even though you are a self-realized soul, even a self-realized soul, they should work also in a sense of detachment for the satisfaction of the Lord. That is the real duty, real Karma Yoga. Otherwise, you are a thief. You are implicated because everything belongs to the somebody else, God. So therefore, he is explaining that you should set an example. Even though you are thinking that I am self-realized, I don't need to work, but to set an example like Janak Maharaj. He was a self-realized, but he was working Varna Ashram system. Everybody is working. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, everybody working. He is a self-realized soul. Janak Maharaj is above all the things. Still he is working to teach others. Everybody has to work their prescribed duty, but prescribed duty should be offered to the Lord. Otherwise, it is karma, it is implicated. So, in this way, Lord is speaking very nicely and is saying that very nice verse to conclude the Karma Yoga. So, he say very nice verses 330. Mai sarvani karmani sannyasa adhyatma chetasa nirase nirmoma bhuva bhutva juddhasa vigata jwara. Therefore, Arjuna, surrendering all your work unto me with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit, with no claims to perpetuate, free from lethargy and fight. Lord is actually inducing him, telling, why, what you doing that? You do not want to fight, you are thinking that renunciation is better. Krishna says, no, no, no. You work, but work in devotion. Renunciation is not the abandoning the work, but renouncing the fruit of the work. Arjuna misunderstood this renunciation. Renunciation is the fruit of the work. So therefore Krishna is saying, you renounce the fruit of the work. Don't desire for profit or loss. And with full knowledge. Without knowledge one cannot. Supposing I do not know what is bhakti, one cannot give to Lord. Why one is giving to Lord something? Because he knows, he has a knowledge, Lord is the proprietor, I am the servant. So therefore surrendering our words unto me, Arjuna. Then Arjuna asking, what is this? What is impeding people not to surrender unto you? Surrender their work, everything, fruit to you. What is impeding to people who commit sinful activities? So Krishna say, Kama esha krodho esha rajaguna samudbhava. So Bhagavan uvacha Kama esha krodho esha rajaguna samudbhava mahasmana mahapapma vidhyena vihave. So Krishna say, the impediment for our Krishna consciousness, this is the anger and greed. And anger and greed is the sitting place of intelligent and mind. Our mind, their mind, senses, their sitting place. So how to, they are the impediment, they are implicating us, they are impediment for our Krishna consciousness. How to get rid of this? By superior intelligence, you should the senses of the mind and intelligence are sitting place of the Lord. Though them lost cover the real knowledge of living entity, bewildership. They are sitting place of mind and intelligence. So they bewildering the soul. Therefore, Arjuna, based of the Bharata, in the very beginning, carved this great symbol of sin by regulating the sense, slay the destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. That means with Krishna consciousness, devotional service, you should do that. Devotional service you should do. In this way, Lord is ending the Karma Yoga. And chapter 4 is explaining about the Bhakti Yoga. Because in this chapter, last verses of this chapter, he is telling, thus knowing oneself to the transcendental, to the material sense, mind and intelligence, O mighty Arjuna, wants to steady mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness. Thus by spiritual sense, conquer insatiable enemy as a lost. Then Lord is in 4th chapter, he is starting with the lineage, that how the transcendental knowledge. So the how we can get this knowledge, the transcendental knowledge. But without knowledge, we cannot work on a Karma Yoga platform properly. So we need the transcendental knowledge. So Lord is explaining this transcendental knowledge is received through the process of disciplic succession. I spoke to Sun God spoke to his son Ikaku, then Ikaku to Manu to human being, all the things. So in this way, the yoga system, how it is Sanatana yoga system. Sanatana means eternal. And eternal activities performed by living entities. So Krishna is speaking about the eternal activities performed. So he is speaking about the all this knowledge is received through the disciplic succession, where I spoke parampara system. I spoke to Sun God spoke to his son, then his disciple, like the disciplic successor. So then Krishna is explaining about the divine nature of appearance, that yada jada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata vitthana madhammasya yoga abhutthana madharmasya sambhavami juge juge. So I appear every millennium to establish the dharma. Dharma means eternal activities of this living entity. That is real dharma. Sarva dharman parityāja mamekam. How to surrender to the eternal activities means surrender to Krishna. Then Krishna is explaining that anybody who knows my appearance and activities, he will get rid of or get out from the cycle of birth and death. Janma karma chame divyam. And not only that, he proved also, he told that many of them, knowing my appearance and activities, they went back. Vitaraga, bhaya, krodha. So already he is explaining that there are so many people in history, in past, they have come back to me by understanding my appearance and activities. In this way, then he is explaining about the Varnashram system. I created the Varnashram system so that according to quality, so that everybody should understanding karma on the platform of knowledge. So he told all the sacrifices culminate to the point of attaining this knowledge. And if you get this knowledge, you become free from everything. That is very important verse. He say that you should get the knowledge from a bona fide spiritual master, and if you get this knowledge, there is nothing to be remain. Everything will be like this knowledge will make you to get rid of everything. I mean, you can pass the all obstacles and go back to Godhead. So he say that but ignorant, faithless person down. So sorry, this. Therefore, doubt which have been arise in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga of Bharat, stand and fight. So yoga system instructed in this chapter called Sanatana Yoga, or eternal activity performed by living entity. This yoga has two divisions: sacrifice of action, sacrificial action. One is called sacrifice of one material possession, and other is called knowledge of the self, which is pure spiritual activity. If sacrifice of one material possession is not dovetailed with spiritual realization, then such sacrifice becomes material. But one who performs the sacrifice with spiritual objective or in a devotional service make a perfect sacrifice. So Krishna is telling that one should act on the platform of knowledge, the transcendental knowledge that I am the eternal servant, Lord is the supreme master. On that platform, if you do sacrifice of our possession, that is perfect. Otherwise, simply we cannot do the things properly. So in this way, Lord ends with the fourth chapter, and fifth chapter is action in Krishna consciousness, because Arjuna has got again doubt. He's asking which is better. Arjuna is again in doubt. He's asking whether working and renunciation of work. So fifth chapter is the Krishna consciousness. Action in Krishna consciousness. So in fifth chapter, in the beginning, Arjuna has again some questions. So he has doubt is not cleared. Arjuna Ubasa. Arjuna is speaking that, oh Krishna, first of all, you ask me to renounce work, then again you recommend work with devotion. Now, kindly tell me which of the two is more beneficial. So Arjuna, so here Prabhupada saying that in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord say that work in devotion. Fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord say that work in devotional service is better than dry mental speculation. Devotional service is easier than later, because being transcendental in nature, free from reaction. In the second chapter, preliminary knowledge of the soul, its entanglement in material body were explained. How to get out from the material entanglement by Buddhi Yoga or devotional service was also explained. In the third chapter, it was explained that a person who is situated on the platform of knowledge no longer has any duty to perform. Because when you are on the platform of knowledge, you don't have, but for the sake of example, set example they do. Fourth chapter, Lord told Arjuna that all kind of sacrificial work culminate in knowledge. However, at the end of fourth chapter, Lord advised Arjuna to wake up and fight, being situated in perfect knowledge. Therefore, by simultaneously stressing the importance of both work in devotion, in action, in knowledge, Krishna has perplexed Arjuna and confused his determination. Arjuna understands that renunciation in knowledge involves cessation of all kind of work performed as sense activity. But if one performs work is stopped, in other words, he thinks that sannyasa or renunciation in knowledge should be altogether free from all kind of activity, because work and renunciation appear to him to incompatible. He appears not to have understand that work in full knowledge is non-reactive and is therefore the same as inaction. So Arjuna here in confused, and that Krishna is telling me in the second chapter is telling me to do the buddhi yoga, work in devotion. Third chapter also is telling me to work and work for the sake of, and finally he is telling that you have to work in such a knowledge. And you come to the platform of knowledge, renunciation in knowledge. Then he is explaining fourth chapter what is that transcendental knowledge. Then in fifth chapter, Arjuna confused. Oh, you told me renunciation in work, renounce the work. Again, you are telling work in devotion and fight. Last verse of fourth chapter. In this way, he is confused. So Arjuna thinking this renunciation of work, which is better? Krishna says both are good, but work in devotion is better. Renunciation work in knowledge is not that good, because when you say work in devotion means is actually inaction. It is also non-reactive, because Arjuna do not want to get reaction of this fight. Therefore, he want to carefully avoid to fight. Arjuna, Krishna telling work in devotion also, or work in Krishna consciousness also, it is non-reactive and it is better than simply renunciation in knowledge. So better you fight rather than think. And why it is better? Krishna is explaining further. The renunciation of work and work in devotion both are good for liberation, but work in devotion is better than renunciation of work. Why better also he explained? Because one who neither has nor desire fruit of his activity is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all duality, easily overcome the material bondage, is completely liberated, O mighty I am Arjuna. Only ignore and speak of devotional service, Karmā Yoga, as being different from analytical study of Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that who applies himself well to one of these paths achieve the result of both. Actually, both are same, the Sankhya and Karmā Yoga. But Krishna say Karmā Yoga is better. One who knows the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, same thing they are. Actually, they are on the same level. It leads to the same path. But in comparison, work in devotion is good. Why? He explained here. Merely renouncing all activity yet not engaging in devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. Simply Sankhya philosophy, or simply the renunciation in knowledge that I am the spirit soul, is not enough for liberation. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve supreme without delay. Therefore, it is said that Bhaunam Janman Mate Jnāna-bāna Mam Prapadyante. After many, many bars, the Jnanis, those who are renounced in knowledge, no activities, simply austerity, penance, they can get after many, many bars. But here, without delay, the bhakti yoga will get. So, Prabhupada very explaining very nicely in this purport that there are two classes of sannyasi. Person in renounced order of life, the Mayavadi sannyasi are engaged in study of Sankhya philosophy, whereas Vaishnava sannyasi are engaged in study of Bhagavatam philosophy, which afford proper commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Mayavadi sannyasi study of Vedanta Sutra but use their own comment. So here he say that Vaishnava sannyasi have multiple engagements in transcendental service of the Lord. The Vaishnava sannyasi have nothing to do with material activities, yet they perform various activities in their devotional service to the Lord. But Mayavadi sannyasi engage in the studies of Sankhya and Vedanta and speculation, cannot release transcendental loving service of the Lord. Because they study become very tedious, they sometimes become tired of Brahman speculation. Thus they take shelter of Bhagavatam without proper understanding. Consequently, the study of Bhagavatam becomes troublesome. Dry speculation, impersonal interpretation, artificial means are useless of Mayavadi sannyasi. Vaishnava sannyasi who are engaged in devotional service are happy in the discharge of their transcendental duty. They have their guarantee of ultimate entrance into the kingdom of God. See, that is the difference. Therefore, Krishna say, although both are same, because they are also trying to get into this year, we are also. But the problem is that these people only study; they do not release the devotional service, and sometimes they are fall down because they have no. It is say that Arya Krishna patanti adha. So he say that Mayavadi Samana sometimes fall down from path of realization, again enter into material activity of philanthropical altruistic nature, which are nothing but material engagement. Therefore, conclusion is that those who are engaged in Krishna consciousness activity are better situated than sannyasi engaged in simple speculation, what is Brahman, what is not. They will fall down because they do not have bliss, simply dry speculation, knowledge, all the things. So there are no activities. Therefore, Krishna say this work in devotion is better. In this way, Krishna is explaining about the action in Krishna consciousness. That is practical. This 5th chapter is a practical Krishna consciousness. Practical Krishna consciousness. And how to perform work in devotion, Karmā Yoga, then he is explaining from 5.7 to 5.28 all the way. How do you do all the things. Then 5.29 he say that a person Bhaktaram Jagyam Topasam Sarvalokom Maheshwara Sridam Sarvabhutanam Gantamam Santim Archati. The last verse of 5th chapter 5 says, knowing me the ultimate purpose of all sacrifice, austerity, supreme lord of planet, demigod, benefactor, well-wisher, attain peace from the pangs of material misery. So how the Karmā Yoga can give liberation? This is the way. So work in devotion. So it will give the things. So in this way, 5th chapter, then Krishna is beginning the 6th chapter. In 6th chapter, Krishna is explaining about the Jñāna-yoga, because the process of eightfold yoga system to control the mind and senses. But however, it is very difficult the people, in general people, to perform this, especially in this age of Kali, Manda Sumanda Mata. In this age of Kali, nobody have that focus, concentration. Although it is a recommended eightfold system, Jñāna-yoga, Krishna is explaining in 6th chapter, is very much recommended in this chapter. But Lord emphasized this process of Karmā Yoga or acting in Krishna consciousness is better, because everybody want to maintain his family and paraphernalia, but no one is working without self-interest, some personal gratification. So either it is a concentration or extended family gratification. So criterion of perfect is to act in Krishna consciousness, because not everybody will go to Himalaya and do the yoga system. So therefore living entity, because living entity is spirit soul always active. So therefore Krishna is explaining all the yoga system to elevating the living entity to the platform of self-realization by different type of yoga. So he is explaining all the things. So in beginning he is explaining that progress in Ashtanga Yoga. First of all, he told that you cannot be yogi if you renounce the sense without renouncing sense gratification. No sex life, nothing, all the things. And how to practice, you have to go to secluded places and put the kutagra, what is that, deer screen, all the things, how the proper way of sitting posture, then how to control the mind and senses, all the things. So but Arjuna, then also he told that the destination of unsuccessful yogi will have a chance in next birth to born in a very high family. Finally he told that out of all yogi, because it's very difficult in this age of age to do all the things, so we finally end the 6th chapter with things saying that a yogi is greater than ascetic, greater than empiricist, greater than fruitive worker. Therefore Arjuna all circumstances be yogi. He told bhakti yogi means bhakti yoga is greater than the renounce, greater than a jnani. Ascetic, ascetic means this dhyana yogi, greater than a jnana yogi and greater than a karma yogi. Finally he say that The topmost yoga system is that yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratma manaha Sadhavan bhajate jo mam same yuktatam mataha. And of all yogis, one with great faith who always abide in me, thinks of me within himself, render transcendental service, loving service unto me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga. Is the highest of all. That is my opinion. So finally, Lord is explaining that bhakti yoga is the topmost. Therefore, everything should be culminate to the bhakti yoga. Otherwise, there is no, there is no success. All the yoga system Krishna explained, whether it's Karma Yogi, little Jnana Yogi, Bhakti Yogi, all practice lies in Bhakti Yoga. All other yoga is a means to come to the platform of Bhakti. Because yoga actually means Bhakti Yoga, that's all. All other yoga just a progression toward that. Karma plus yoga. Karma Yoga. Karma plus Bhakti Yoga is Karma Yoga. Jnana plus Bhakti Yoga is Jnana Yoga. Dhyana plus Bhakti Yoga is Dhyana Yoga. So everything lies in Bhakti Yoga. So from the beginning to Karma Yoga to come a long way to, Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga means fruitive activities dovetail with Krishna consciousness. That is called Karma Yoga. When Karma Yoga increases in knowledge and renunciation, renounce in knowledge, this is what you say, the Jnani, they do not want activities. Arjuna want to Jnani. So Krishna say, no, better work in devotion. When it is increases renunciation and knowledge, that is called Jnani. When Jnani increases in meditation, he is called Dhyana Yoga. When Dhyana Yoga increases in Bhakti, that is called Bhakti Yoga. So Arjuna, he telling, better you become a Bhakti Yogi. Is the highest yoga. Do not try to prematurely renounce. That is not better. So high stage of is given. But to understand the Bhakti Yoga, we have to analyze or understand the Bhakti Yoga minutely. One has to understand all other yoga. Therefore, Krishna spoke everything. Otherwise, how you understand Bhakti Yoga? If you do not understand what is Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, otherwise you would have put everything Bhakti. So you should minutely understand the Bhakti Yoga, you should understand the Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. So in this way, Lord is explaining 6th chapter, which is predominantly on the Karma Yoga, because everybody has a material condition life, and all the different yoga system to elevate the conditioned soul to the platform of self-realization very systematically, thoroughly. Through the karma, beginning from the Karma Yoga, you can elevate to Jnana, Dhyana, then Bhakti. Because everybody cannot jump into this Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, meditating, fix their mind. No. Therefore, there are, Krishna say in 12th chapter, one cannot come to Bhakti Yoga. They can do this regulative principle of Bhakti. One cannot regulative principle, one can do the working for Krishna. In this way, to elevate the conditioned soul. That is Krishna's main purpose of speaking Bhagavad Gita, to deliver the mankind from the nescience of this material existence and bring us back to Godhead. Revive our real consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Revive our eternal relationship with God. That is Bhakti Yoga. Revive and renovate. Thank you very much. This is the end of the Karma Yoga, chapter 1 to 6. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Hari.